Hi again, welcome back to True Crime with Lena. This is the case of Karina Vetrano. Karina Vetrano went for a late afternoon run on August 2nd, 2016. She said "see you later" to her father and left the house. She would never see him later though. She was brutally murdered. She went for a run in Spring Creek Park in Howard Beach, Queens, New York City. This park was less than a block away from where she lived. Her father was always worried about her going running alone. She usually went running with her father, but he had an injured back at this time. She was not answering any calls or texts from her father. He was calling repetitively. He knew something was very wrong. He contacted his neighbor, who was a New York Police Department police chief. This policeman set up a search immediately. Her family was searching, along with countless loved ones, neighbors, police officers. Around 11 p.m. that night, her body was found. She was discovered by her own father. She was face down about 15 feet off of a trail. Her clothes were pulled down. This is what her father says about that moment. "I let out a sound I never made before or since. It was a wail." Police told her father that he had to leave because it was a crime scene. He responded by sobbing, saying, "I have to take her home, I have to take her home," over and over again. An autopsy was performed the next day. Authorities said that it seemed as if she had been hit in the back of the head with a rock. She tried so hard to fight off her attacker. She really wanted to live. I read online that she bit them so hard that her teeth cracked. Her hands were clenched, holding on to grass from when she was forcefully pulled off the trail. She was sexually assaulted. Her killer strangled her with all of his strength, leaving a handprint on her neck. There was a ton of DNA evidence found on Karina and around her. Her attacker's DNA was found on her back, her cell phone, and under her fingernails. Even though so much evidence was found, it didn't help catch this killer at the time. The DNA brought no leads, even being run through national and local databases. A $10,000 reward was being offered for information leading to her killer. The case went unsolved for 6 months. On February 4th, 2017, the police made an important announcement. A suspect had been taken into custody and was being questioned. The suspect's name was Chanel Lewis. He was a 20-year-old who lived in Brooklyn, New York. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and aggravated sexual assault. He lived less than 3 miles from where Karina's body was found. This man told authorities that he had a hatred for all women. I have read that he once told a teacher that he wanted to stab all of the girls at a school he used to attend. People have said that he was always by himself and seemed mentally unstable. I watched his taped confession. He apparently left his house that day that Karina was murdered because somebody that lived nearby made him mad by playing loud music and just being loud. He walked to the nearby park where he attacked and murdered Karina. His mother said that when he came home that night, he looked like a mess. His clothes were all ripped up and messed up. Chanel told his mother that he was mugged by a bunch of men. His father took him to the emergency room the next day for deep scratches and cuts on his upper body. He also had an injured hand. The doctor said that his hand injury seemed like a boxing injury. In 2018, he went on trial, and the jury could not reach a unanimous verdict. The judge declared a mistrial. In the last days of the trial, an anonymous letter was received by the defense. It said that a great deal of police misconduct had occurred. Whoever sent the letter claims that they are a New York City police officer. They explained the actual murderers were 2 jacked-up white guys. The letter also says that the case was racialized. Chanel's family is certain that he is innocent. They feel as if his confession was coerced. He was retried in 2019 and was sentenced to life in prison on April 23, 2019. Karina was 30 years old at the time of her death. She had so much going for her in her life. She was very close with her family. She lived near them in the same neighborhood. She had a master's degree in speech pathology and worked with children with autism. Phil Vetrano, Karina's father, read a statement about how he has been affected by his daughter's killing in front of the court. It is really heartbreaking. Take a look.
Judge, Your Honor, I want to thank you for giving my family and myself the opportunity house. First, I would like to speak to you man to man, from the heart of a father of two girls, to the heart of the father of two girls. You can only begin to imagine the pain, the anguish of finding your baby brutally beaten, her neck swollen and bruised, knowing she was dead, unable to help her, to save her, to protect her, as any father would instinctively want to do. That monster killed 4 people the night of August 2nd, 2016. One of us is in heaven, but the other 3 walk the earth as zombies, just waiting to die to be with Karina again. There were no more Merry Christmases, no more Happy New Years, no more happy birthdays. There was no more pleasure in life, no more smiles, no more happiness. Those were all taken by that convicted, murdering rapist. My heart was ripped out of me that night, and it created a void that will never heal. Only my faith in God and my belief in heaven keeps me from killing myself, for fear of not being allowed into heaven to see my baby again. Now, I will speak to you as a victim to a Supreme Court justice. Whatever happens here today, whatever sentence you impose, there will be no true justice. The light of my life was brutally beaten and murdered by that animal. True justice will be served only when he is dead and he meets the Lord our God. He and only he can impose true justice upon that murderer, and he will feel the wrath of God and burn in eternal hell. That convicted, murdering rapist deserves to spend the rest of his life locked away from society. He's a serial killer in the making. If he wasn't caught, I know he would have killed again and again. He's proven that. As an angry, violent boy, he told the teacher he wanted to bring a knife to school and kill all the girls. As an angry, violent man, he made good on that threat the night he killed the brightest light in the world, my baby girl, Karina. After he had already killed, he searched on his phone how to forcibly rape someone. And again, that was after he had already killed and raped Karina. So his intentions are obvious. He wanted to kill and to rape again and again. And he will if he is ever let loose on this world. He has shown no remorse, no regret, and no sorrow. I ask you to use the power that was given to you by the people to protect the people that gave you that power. The only way to do that is to make sure he never has the opportunity to kill another innocent person. I beg of you to impose the maximum sentence allowed, which is life, without the possibility of parole. He must never walk the streets again.
Something interesting that happened since his sentencing is that over 40,000 people petitioned the Queens District Attorney to reopen this case. I was surprised that so many people think he is innocent. Did he really murder this woman because she was a female? Or was he so angry about the man playing music near where he lived that he went to a park to cool down and snapped, killing this woman? Or was it a mix of the two? Did he see this woman before? Did he know her? Or was it totally random? Or did he not even commit this crime? Did somebody force him to confess? Will his case be reopened? How did these 40,000 people explain the fact that Chanel's DNA was under Karina's fingernails, on her cell phone, and on other parts of her body? If he was innocent, why did he have deep cuts and scratches on him right after the woman was murdered? I personally think he did commit this crime. How else would his DNA get under her fingernails? He also knew things about the crime scene that nobody else would. It is sadly pretty common to hear about people getting murdered while going for a jog. This case has made me sure that I never want to go running by myself. Please don't go running alone, especially if you are a woman. There are a lot of scary people in the world, and we need to be extra careful. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. This poor innocent woman thought she was just getting some afternoon exercise in. So that's all for this case. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've posted a video. I'm going to try to post them more regularly. So thanks again, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah!